Hey everybody, welcome back to Florida Exotic. We had some plans this week to come out and do a lot of fish stuff, but we had starting, last Friday?
Yep.
Last Friday, we had the coldest weather they say we've had down here in 30, 40 years. It's the coldest I've ever seen it since I've been on this place. Well, maybe not, maybe the same. But it got down to the 30s, and then when the wind chill, it was in the 20s. So we don't touch the fish, we don't do anything. We waited, but now it's going to be about 65, and we're going to run out and grab two things real fast, and we're done, but normally we don't touch them. We've got our diesel on back there. I don't know if you can hear it, but we run that when it's cold like this. We shut off a couple of electric pumps and run that and just let it punch the water. But the water, I mean, it feels warm. It feels good. But it got down to what, 60, what was it, down to 68?
No, some of the vaults were measuring 60, 65, 64.
Yeah.
When typically they're running 71, 72.
Then we thought we'd have a break, and then this morning it was in the high 30s.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 40s. So it's really kind of put us off of doing much of anything because we don't even like to, like Salvador's out there feeding. You can feed a very little bit. We haven't fed a couple days. We don't even like to walk around the fish. We don't like them to move around. We want them to stay where they want to stay, where it's warm, and we don't bother.
And talk about why this end of our shade cloth is not covered in the whole scheme of things. So we have
because this is on the southeast side. We don't cover the south end of the east part or the south part.
Because the cold always comes from the
northwest. So what we're actually hoping is for, you can see back there, everything, that's the west wall. So we want to block that. But as soon as the wind changes, comes from the southeast, we want to start pushing in here. But anyway, we're going to go try to catch two things real quick. Oh, there's Tamla over there telling me I shouldn't be wearing this shirt because it looks like a sausage stuffed in a whatever. I got two shirts on. I had a sweatshirt on up to now. I took it off so I wouldn't get it wet. So we're gonna go over and do something. So we'll be with you in a minute. We just put up this windsock so that we could see what was going on. Oh, cool thing that happened. It was cold and cold and cold. And we had the diesel on. And once we crank that thing up, we run it till it warms up. And sure enough, it's the most blessed thing. It warmed up, and the diesel just shut off.
Yeah.
Boom.
At 9 o'clock at night.
But it was warm.
Yeah, it was. It did warm up.
And what it turned out was that...
I mean, relatively speaking, it wasn't in the
Yes,
30s.
but we weren't going to have any problems. But if it had cut off the night before, so we got our mechanic out here. Turned out the alternate was not functioning, and the battery was not functioning, so it was running off the what? Battery charger?
Yeah, basically.
And it finally just said, forget it, I'm not doing it. So we had to, yesterday, the day before, we just rushed around, got an alternator, got a new battery, got it cranked up, about 6 o'clock last night?
Yeah, and actually the trickle charger is supposed to come today.
So, that was another close call, but a miracle in a way. So in this area here, we do cover here, we do cover the south wall just because of these small vaults.
And it's also on a channel. It's protected
like
by the building,
we turn off tanks that we're not using, and this water is cold.
Oh yeah.
This is like, woo.
So what Rick was saying is that certain tanks, if there's no fish, we'll turn the water off, and then that promotes more volume of water going into the tank.
If it doesn't have, if there's nothing in it, I want the water as much as we can. Oh, and somebody mentioned that last week when I was talking about Florida Picosimus, there's no such thing as a Florida Picosimus. I understand that, but what the point I was trying to make is there's so many big Picosimus that have been in the Florida waters for so long. I just call them Florida. They're not really.
And a fun fact.
Yes?
Yes, that the release of Picosimus into the Florida waterways was and still is a problem. It was also, the fish themselves were used by many municipalities, including large municipalities in and around the Orlando area, as algae control.
Yeah.
which subsequently led to the release into public waters.
Yeah, I want you to keep in mind that every fish on this property has value to me. So the last thing I'm going to do, people, you hear this, well, these things are in the wild because of, the fish farmers. Get out of here. Every fish has value. I've got money in it. And before I'll go take it and dump it anywhere, I'll sell it for something to somebody. What happens is somebody has a pet. They feel sorry for it. It's too big. They take it and they let it go. They say, let it be free. Pythons in the Everglades. Come on. That somebody had a python as a little kid, and then it grew up to be 18 feet. He got tired of going to the dog pound and getting rescue dogs for it.
Probably shouldn't say that.
But anyway, we don't do that. I don't, and there's no way for me to show you, but my property actually is on the edges, is about 5 inches higher than the land, because when we first started, we had all the ponds here, and I never moved any of the pond stuff off. I just put it around. So anyway, I'm looking for medium ornatus and here, and then we're going to go look.
Medium plus.
Are these mediums?
Yeah, they're in the shadows over here.
Now, like I said, we would not do this in big water. The reason.
And what Rick means, we wouldn't take the seine and.
Yeah, we wouldn't chase it. In other words, in a 6,000 gallon tank, we wouldn't do it. We're gonna wait till it's 56 in the morning, and then we're gonna quit worrying about the day. But here, this water's turning over pretty quick. So this, if you went and, we very seldom measure temperatures in the water, because what are we gonna do? We can't do anything about it except pump it. It comes out what, 74?
71, 72.
And the worst part about it is that 3 of these brutal cold nights were windy. And the farmers out here, of course, want the wind. They want the wind moving the cold around so it won't settle on the plants. Julie ornatus. So I need 6 this size. 2. And we are going through Tanganyikans like crazy. 3.
Yeah, considering all the flight delays and
4.
issues with the airports, I mean, we have been moving on.
We've been very fortunate. Last week we had a run, which means we went upstate, but we couldn't ship all week. And this week, the places we could go were relatively warm. And then next week's probably going to be, because everybody's going to be anxious.
Locust swarms.
Yeah, you want to grab that bucket behind you? Nope. But everything looks just, Glenn, you're feeding today, right, a little bit?
Yeah, I fed, did I feed yesterday? I fed lightly. I can feed lightly today.
Yeah, just a little bit, So, if we have the 7 stripers.
Oh, I hate this tank.
I hate them all, these round. These things they've been a blessing, but we hate them.
You're going to have to film, or you're going to try to catch them.
No, I can get them. But no, I got to be careful, my pants fall down. I don't know, people don't want to hear about that crap, but these pants are kind of stretchy. But anyway, these are 7 stripers. These are a little more popular than 6 stripers. They get a little bit different color on them. Not as popular as Impimguis. MOBA's super popular, but they don't breed worth a hoot. I can't get them to breed. I know some people do. But, okay. 1.5-inchers. They all look good, don't they, Glenn?
Yep. I would go for the bigger ones that you see in there. Not the big, but...
Did you hear that plane? It just sounded like it just...
Yeah, they've been hauling up gliders all morning because of the
beautiful
upper winds.
weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an airport near here, and when you hear a plane making all that noise and all of a sudden it stops, they just released the glider. Then you hear the plane kick back in. And then you'll see them soaring around up there. It's very cool. We used to have a lot of parachuters out here too.
You know what? I saw, I can't remember the guy. Who's the guy who has the strawberry field that's been around forever?
The Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever.
Yeah, nice try. Anyway, they do a newsletter for Redland activity and everything. But you know, I think it's the second week, no, the 22nd maybe? It's the South Florida Hot Air Balloon Show at Tamiami Airport. That's gonna be cool.
Well, you know what? When I moved out here in the early 70s and 80s, there was many, you'll probably...
We used to always see them out.
Well, there'd be 8 or 10 of them coming around. The dogs would be raising hell because of that whooshing noise they make. You know they were coming. And they would come down low over here because there was a place, you know, I had all the ponds, and they would talk to you as they went by, you know? Very cool. Okay, so that's about it. We're not going to do much more. Trying to talk Glenn into going back and taking pictures of stuff we've taken over the years.
Well, we talked about like a blooper reel, but I have to go back to, you know, because you do bloopers in every single video.
What did someone else bring up something last week that I needed to deal with? I can't remember. It was Florida Picostomus, letting fish go. Yeah, don't do that, people. If you've got a fish and you don't want it, take it into your local pet shop, give it to them, let them get rid of it. There's somebody who'll take it.
I mean, the comments are constantly filled with, you know, I want to buy your fish. You know, what a shame that you have all these videos, but you won't sell us fish. Y'all need to go to your local fish shop and have them reach out. We will be happy to get you what you need, but we work with local fish stores because they have the mechanisms and the people in place to be able to go to the airport and pick up cargo shipments.
Of course, because, and also you don't want to deal with us. You don't want to deal with it on one-on-one.
I mean, we're set up to you know, take 100 boxes to the airport, not to pack, you know, 2 fish in a UPS box.
And we've picked up several stores that have done that.
Absolutely.
And now they're regulars. See, there's Tamara's over there sneaking around. You know, she's giving.
She wants to go home, girl.
Yeah, she does. We want to go home.
Hi, Tam.
Yeah, we want to go home. It's kind of stressful out here when we're dealing with this because you're trying to sleep, but I keep my ear open for you can hear the bees all buzzing and so anyway, boy, that's why we didn't get to do a lot of cool stuff, which we don't always do cool stuff, but we couldn't do any more than this. So check us out next week. It's going to be warmer. I got to check the Khaleesas. I got to move some stuff around, so we'll be doing some stuff. So subscribe, give us a comment, tell your friends about us, whatever.
See you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Grab that bucket. I can't. Let me turn this off.